So every time that alert comes on, it knocks me off. And so I'm sorry for all these intermittent obsession, that obstruction that we're going through. And I just want to say that happy am I to be here, Mama Coco. We are a little bit late. Thank you guys for tuning in and staying tuned in. We are here this evening, and we are going to be part of a lovely show with Mr. Phillip Edward Alexander. Yes, well-known publicist and a writer, a blogger, a columnist, a social activist, talk show host, founder of the Jericho Project, and a political leader of the Progressive Empowerment Party. Welcome, Mr. Phillip Alexander.
Mama Coco, thank you so much for having me. I apologize for how I appear. We've been trying to update our software to keep up with this program. We use vMix Call and we use Zoom. We use WhatsApp for our shows. We've never done this StreamYard before. So it's a bit of a challenge for us. It required full updates on the iOS. So we're working on all of that right now. But thanks a lot for helping us and for waiting. So thank you for having me.
Well, let us welcome Mr. Phillip Alexander. I have Mr. Phillip Alexander on my show this evening for many reasons. I have been following this man for 3 years plus. He has not given me any clue that he knew I was around until about, I think, last year. But I used to be following him, listening to him, and asking myself, who is this guy? Who is this guy with so much knowledge? Who is this guy that could bring people to understand that politics is more than just going up for an election and looking for a seat? And politics is like a teaching experience, you know? And I became excited. And I wanted to know more from and of Mr. Phillip Alexander. Mr. Phillip Alexander, I just want to say something here to you today. And a lot of people might ask, well, they're asking, who is this woman that Phillip going to do this interview with? You understand me? Who is this lady? Your friend Gary Aboud. So when I saw Aboud, I started to get a little scared because I tell myself, ooh, I might be touching that area where somebody ain't like me or knowing Mr. Phillip. I wonder who is this person who's saying that they look up on YouTube and they couldn't find me, and you know what I'm saying? Well, Mr. Gary Aboud, this is me. I am Mama Coco, but my real name and title is Cora Pantin. I hail from the village of Argyle, Tobago, and I'm a citizen of the Twin Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. I wear my flag proudly. I live my life as a Trinidadian, a Trinbagonian. Wherever I go, I walk with my flag. I'm an excited person. And when I see something good, I like to make sure that I'm part of goodness. Because see, goodness doesn't lead us anywhere. Goodness follows us all the days of our lives.
Indeed.
And we were promised a quality lifestyle because of goodness. Tonight, before I welcome Mr. Phillip Alexander, I want to explain to some people who believe by saying that We shouldn't be people who praying, or we shouldn't be people who dealing with politics at the same time. Well, the both of them work together for good. And this evening, I want to introduce Mr. Phillip Alexander and reintroduce Mr. Phillip Alexander. To the people of Trinidad, he's popular. He's a figure that ruffles a lot of feathers, and a lot of people come around just to ruffle his feathers. So here we are this evening, Mr. Phillip Edward Alexander. Who are you?
Mama, wanna thank you. I'm fighting up here to get a link to share to all the people. We have 44,000 followers, and my WhatsApp sees twice people asking where the feed, because we will promote that the show happening tonight. So Satish now finally gave me the link, and I just sending it out to quiet that down.
Yeah.
I want to say that since you asked for this interview, I've been excited. And all of the problems that happened trying to get the show up tonight, it destabilized me, and in a good way, because there's a reason why when you asked me today, you wanted to send the questions. And
Yes.
I tell you, I don't want to know the questions in advance, because I like to be able to answer off the cuff. I want to always be able to be authentic. And I told you that, right?
Yes.
Tonight, I feel like I am juggling chainsaws, riding a unicycle across a tightrope on the show, because I am so out of my element. The feed I have is crazy. And all right, so let's get down. I've shared the link. I put his phone on silent and give you 101% of all of my attention. Going forward from here, I don't think his phone over now. They won't stop.
So my first question is, who is Phillip Edward Alexander? But
Coco,
firstly, I want to say that I'm going to be introducing you and reintroducing you to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, because Tobago will be an introduction tonight. I'm introducing you to the people of Tobago.
and I appreciate that.
And I am going to give you the chance.
For the
Start
benefit
to
of
tell
your,
us who is Phillip.
for the benefit of your viewers, though, do I call you Mama Coco or Cora or Miss Pantin? What
You could go with Miss Pantin or say, yeah, yes. Or Mama Coco. Say Mama Coco, because
I like that.
New page. This is a new page I have established. And
No, I like it. I like it very much.
yes, a lot of people, you know, accept the invitation. So I have a crew that's building. So you can use the name, or you can.
And your crew,
Yeah.
very professional.
Thank you
Calm
so much.
during storms. I am very impressed. I'm sure Satish and Pep Media will as well. I think we will do well working together in the future. You keep asking who's Phillip Edward Alexander, and I want to tell you that I am just another person. Mama Coco, I am a happy, content, peaceful, successful man. All of my problems, all of my worries, all of my stresses, all of my concerns are politics. In my personal life, I live blissful happiness. I have a loving family, 2 beautiful children that I enjoy. If there were 25 more hours in the day to spend with my son and my daughter, I would spend it with them. I have never been able to thank God enough for those 2 children. Joshua and Isabella are literally my beating heart.
So you have teenagers in between, or all of them are?
No, just Josh, just the 2 bookends now. And I want to say this. How long your show runs? I don't want to waste time. How long does your show run? I want to tell you this, but I don't want to ramble on?
It's up to you. I think we're gonna finish by 7. We could finish by 7.
No, you have me as long as you want me. I just saying. Right?
Oh, awesome. Awesome,
Anyway.
Mr. Phillip. Awesome. But you know, you have jumped the gun a little bit here for me.
I apologize.
Who is Phillip? Phillip is a father, a son, a brother,
you see,
a husband.
I do well as the interviewer, not as the interviewee in situations like this. And that's why I wanted this so much. I wanted to learn how to be the interviewee. Mama Coco, I don't, unlike other politicians who will script lies for you and tell you what you want to hear, I'll tell you the truth. No day goes by in my life that I don't have 2 different types of messages on Facebook. One, somebody that was supporting me hard, no longer supporting me from today because I touch on an issue. It's like when George Floyd was killed.
Tell me about the Phillip before. I want the child. I want the child that grow into a man. And then we will get into what people doing to you right now.
No. I was just going to say, there are 2 types of messages I get every day. The people who won't follow anymore and the people who so happy that they found me and that they can't believe that there is somebody like me out there. There are 2 types of people always in every situation. Tonight, I had to fall out, I want to use that word, with people who had an event last night and the Attorney General and Rudal Munilal and a bunch of people were packed up on a stage. Now, when people sent me that picture, they outraged, and rightly so, because I'm the person who made it stink when the little children from Coco were arrested because a picture was taken from multi-million-dollar 1% Bayside Towers to say, look, Coco children bathing in the sea. Come and get them out there, they're breaking the law. So when Munilal and Al-Rawi and the rest of them climb up on a stage together, nobody wearing no masks, no social distancing, nobody observing the law, 5 people is the limit. I put them on blast. The people who organized the event, 3 of the people are my friends on Facebook, all 3 Vexer and the other. I don't know who organized the event. I had to tell them, outside of Munilal and Al-Rawi in that picture, I don't know anybody else on the stage. All I am talking about is the injustice and the wrongdoing, because right is right and wrong is wrong. And if it is the same law for the little children in Sea Lots and the same law for the lady up in Mount Hope outside Shiba, police come and arrest her because she had too many people in the bar. How this happened? So when I put them on blast, they blast me, no problem. And they tell me that the law does not apply to private events. So I called the commissioner of police and I said, is this true? He said, you wouldn't believe it. You keep saying it's a bullshit law. It's a bullshit law because it doesn't apply to private residences. If you could put 50,000 people inside your house, no social distancing, no mask, you could do that. Our law in Trinidad and Tobago is crap. So when they find out that they were correct, they went to town. But I just found out that it was a fundraising event that sold tickets. So even though it is a private residence, it became a public event. It wasn't a private event. The law is stupid and it is silly. And to the mass of people who saw the picture of Faris and Munilal and the rest of the people on that stage, they outraged. To the people who had their fundraiser, and that's the problem with Trinidadians. We want you to fix all the wrong in Trinidad, you know, but don't fix the wrong we do it. Leave that wrong alone. If we want to break all the laws, let me break all the laws. You go and fix the other people who are breaking the laws. And that's what's pissed people off with me. Because I do not see it.
Here we go, Mr. Phillip. You are on this show, and I am going to. You said that you want to learn how to be the interviewee.
Yeah.
And you want to, because you see, the quality of interview that you were trained to really do is not the type that we are on this show for today. I want people.
I just get a message.
Hold on.
Stop talking politics. Follow her lead. Talk about your childhood.
Yes.
Mama, that's not me. That's not me. Never try to sell me.
You know, one thing I never like when you are being interviewed on radio and on TV is that you have to always be begging them, let me finish. I don't want that.
Okay.
We are doing great.
All right.
I love your audience. And I don't like what is happening around with you. You see, the quality of Phillip that they're bringing out is not the quality Phillip I want to introduce and to reintroduce. You see, I want to deal with a form of gravitas. You understand me? Let's go with something. Somebody said, a message come, follow the lead, follow the lead.
Following the lead.
Because I want you to be seen as a man with dignity, a man that's moving for success, a man that has quality to lead, and a leader must be able to listen. So let me breathe again, and let me welcome Phillip Alexander, the human that he is, that people doesn't allow you to be, because you're not allowing them the chance to make you become the leader that you're supposed to be. Your qualities that you have in you, from an academical point of view, you have qualities to be a leader. But first you have to be a listener, a great listener we're taking it though. I know you come up, you come to talk. I want you to talk, but you have to follow.
I taking off the glasses because it's reflecting all these lights that I have.
Yes, take off the glasses for now. You have to read me.
Reflecting all the screen.
You have to read me with a glasses.
Sorry.
So, what it is like to grow up as Phillip Edward Alexander?
Okay, but I would like to say one more thing before I start that. Could I?
Breathe first. Breathe, brother. Breathe.
I'm breathing.
Yes.
I just say one more thing, right? For all of the time that I have been alive, I have seen politicians come across as slippery. And I've seen them try to sell an image that is not real. And I understand. I ended up doing communications, public relations. I'm a spin doctor, and I know how to make things appear different.
I like the word spin, doctor, but you know what was going on a little while? We were spinning out of control.
Yes.
Well, let's get back.
Yes.
What was it like to grow up as Phillip Edward Alexander?
Okay. I grew up in Woodbrook in Trinidad, O'Connor Street. Woodbrook, Trinidad, and my best friends growing up were Colin Young, Danelle Cowlesser, Bruce Pouchette, Leonard Edgell, and that should tell you that I grew up in a place, Leonard Edgell, white Trinbagonians, Bruce Pouchette, Afro-Trinis, Danelle Cowlesser, Indo-Trini, Colin Young, who's separated by a wall, Chinese, Chinese, right? But we never saw ourselves like that. In fact, I have a book I wrote called O'Connor Street, and it's about growing up in
What's the name of your book?
O'Connor Street. I've not finished it to publish it yet. When Tim Gopi Singh was Minister of Education, he read it and he said that would be a nice book to put in the public system. So I thought that after I finished politics, I'd finish it. But growing up in O'Connor Street as a little boy, 46 years ago, I'm 53 now, we grew up in a plural society. That Woodbrook, and anybody that you ever meet that came from Woodbrook will tell you that Syrians, Indians, Chinese, Indians, everybody lived together normal. Everybody lived together normal.
Woodbrook have the people that you always talk about, you 1%. I'm talking, go ahead.
It have everybody. It have everybody in Woodbrook. So growing up in Woodbrook, I got a version of Trinidad and Tobago that I had to change when I became a teenager, and we moved out of Woodbrook and I moved into West Moorings. And I thought I saw a different Trinidad and Tobago than I knew as a little boy growing up in Woodbrook. But Woodbrook, I spent a lot of time in the church. I was an acolyte. I was in the youth group. I was in the choir. I was in I did confirmation, first communion.
Catholic or what religion it was?
Roman Catholic. I grew up Roman Catholic, and I grew up. The church was in the next street, St. Teresa's Church. So
yes.
we and two of my sisters, I have three sisters. One just passed away. Two of my sisters went to St. Teresa's, but we grew up in the St. Teresa's Church family. So we spent a lot of time there in church, we lived as a community. Clive Pantin, I don't know if you...
I know Clive Pantin.
Right. Well, Clive was the firebrand in Woodbrook. He led the Woodbrook Action Committee, and this was before he got into politics. The Woodbrook people stood together and took care of each other and took care of business. When they did this thing in the country where they put down saltwater mains and they left Woodbrook in a mess, and Clive organized street by street with the Woodbrook Fire Services, and we cleaned our streets. I mean, we were doing these things, and that was the first piece of politics I ever got into, and I didn't know it was politics, because one Sunday morning I woke up and everybody in my house was outside on the pavement. And if everybody in my house outside on the pavement, because a lot of us in that house there, and if everybody outside on the pavement, something going on, I rush outside to see what's going on. As a little boy, 10 years old, to see a fire truck coming down the road with crowds of people and firemen spraying the road and people scrubbing the road, and Clive on a bullhorn telling the residents, come out and help. I run inside, grab my mother broom, run outside and help sweep the street, 10 years old. Get licks.
What was happening there?
We were cleaning the streets. They were cleaning the streets, and that's what they were doing. And it was an exciting thing to be a part of. And I'm just telling you that that's what the experience that I had growing up in Woodbrook is what underpins my politics. I want that for the whole of Trinidad and Tobago. I've always wanted for Trinidad and Tobago that everybody helped everybody without asking a question. I mean, it was literally community life. So that's what I knew, and it's inculcated into me. The Trinidad that I live in now is such a hate.
No. Now we're rushing. The boy Edward, you went to school what school you went to? Well, it must be Catholic school.
No, actually, I went to Romilly's prep school on Anna Street. Cleopatra Romilly, she was a PNM senator. I didn't know what that was, but it sounded important. She was a PNM senator. Her husband, Oswald Romilly, was the principal of the school. Miss Villamera, Miss Lafleur, I can't remember the second. Miss Villamera was first, Miss Lafleur, Miss Jones, Miss Pigott, and then Mr. Romilly. That was the classes that you went through to get. Yeah. That was standard 1, standard 2. It was somebody's yard that was divided by blackboards.
By a mango tree?
No, it was a shed. They had a shed, and each class was divided by blackboards. When I end up in St. Mary's College,
that's so many. I remember that too. That the partition was a blackboard.
The partition was a blackboard.
Yeah, so you have to be quiet. You have to
be quiet.
And if you are a fast learner, you will start to learn other classes work, because you finished doing yours so long ago that you start to get advanced by just proximity. So Mr. Alexander, you went to elementary school, prep school, elementary school, and then you move on to high school. What it was like for high school for you, and is there anyone right now that you still have as friend or work with that you went to high school with right now?
All of my friends that were what I call my best friends from very young, if they're still alive, they're still my friends today. And we've been lifelong friends.
Anyone in power that you could, get information from, or working with that alongside, or anybody like that you have with you right now?
Like in politics?
Yeah, no.
No. I mean, I have a lot of support. I have teachers. Jerome Stone, I went primary school. I went baby school with Jerome and his 2 sisters, Natalie and Carolyn, and his mom, Maureen Stone, know me since I was 2 or 3. And she's a foundation member of the Progressive Employment
You
Fund.
were still in diapers?
Baby school. This was before.
Okay.
This was before school. This was school before school. And Rhett Gordon, Ken Gordon's son, Rhett and I used to exchange lunches every day because Rhett used to like what my mother sandwiches for some reason, and we would exchange sandwiches. Rhett see this now; he will cuss me for saying it. And Rhett is somebody that he's big in the printing business and a well-known guy in Trinidad. It's very successful. There are a lot of people that have known me from the start. My dean of Form 3, my English literature teacher, my priest. Still, I have messages to return WhatsApp.
Who was your priest?
Father Harold Imam Shah was the last priest that I called priest that blessed something that we were doing, and he and I speak regularly. He's the person that when he blessed my political launch, he said we must be servants who lead and leaders who serve, and I've never forgotten that because it resonated perfectly.
Yes, if it's one thing with Anglican and Catholic school, they will speak to you with spiritual language and overtone that sometimes right now in your life you could reminisce and go back right into that space. Now tell us about your high school.
St. Mary's College, it was a shock after Romilly's. And this is why, and I remember the shock of big school as opposed to small school.
So you, before we go further, because then people of your age, and well mine, I'm older than you are, and so that's why I'm more experienced than you are in certain things. I have seen more moons under the sun, under heaven. And what I have to say and ask you is that did you enter a private high school? Did they pay for you, or you did the kind of exam like me, common entrance?
Well, SCA, no, common entrance, it was common entrance. But it's the same.
It was common entrance.
Yeah, but it's the same nonsense. And that's what I'm saying to you. The shock of moving from small school to big school. Because my school, Romilly's, I tell you, is somebody garage, 3 classes in somebody garage. And the size of St. Mary's College, I used to get lost every day.
Why that was in the modern time? Because why you had to be in somebody's garage?
Well, I mean,
what time of your life that was?
No,
what time in Trinidad in Woodbrook?
Yeah, but looking back on it now, I have.
Were they building a high school?
No. We weren't rich. The people who were our community, we weren't rich people. And looking back on it now, I have the greatest respect for my father, who, looking back on it now, I understand how much difficulties he had. And he raised 5 children. I raised 2, raising the second one now. And the challenge of being a parent, and looking back on the humble circumstances, and we felt rich. My parents did a fantastic job. The only reason I'm in politics, Cora, is because of my parents. My mother is such a servant all of my life. My mother, right now, where they live in Diego Martin, there's a guy that comes and closes their gate at night to get his food. They hire the humblest people to work with them in the yard. All of my life, I've known people like this one is Junior, and that one is Floyd, and that one is what was his name? Sergeant. Private. And Private was half mad. But my parents, especially my mother, because of her, I did a Life in the Spirit seminar at the age of 19. I was the youngest covenant member of the Living Water community, just to make my mother happy, because I was running off the rails as a teenager. I was running off the rails. And
what do you mean by running off the rails?
Come now, man.
No. Well,
Cora, you see me, you hear my voice. I strong, you know. People has come at me, but it's come at
I
me
want to
from
ask you.
people has come at me from fire, you know.
Don't leave
They don't come,
people.
they don't come up close to me.
Don't leave people to finish
But
your conversation.
I'm telling you, people who want to come at me, they don't come close. You could tell that I am strong. You could tell that I have a strong mind, and that when the options presented themselves to be a teenager, I was a teenager. I party hard. We fight in Panorama. My mother banned me from going to Panorama.
I want to share this with you, my love. You see, the reason why I out here supporting young politicians is because in all we are doing with politics and trying to run the country, we are leaving young people out. So I have you here as a teacher to help mold the young people and to keep them in line. We have an interview here today, and our interview is full of love.
No, I understand. No, I understand why I'm calling you Mama Coco. All right, I get it now. I get it.
Yes, I'm not here to hear about, you know.
No. I understand what you're saying.
What politics is to the adults. What politics should be, because we are in politics for the children. The children of Diego Martin, they need you. They need to vote for you, and they want to know why. They should. And the children of Lavantil, no, you give me. I'm giving you it. The children of Lavantil, they are forgotten. They decide not to go to school, and we don't care. Things happening in Lavantil, we don't care. When last have you been to Lavantil?
This week. I still work Lavantil. I still work Long Life Mufflers.
I ain't talking about that. When last you went Lavantil to do something?
No, I just went to drop somebody.
No, forget dropping people. When last have you been to Lavantil to meet with young people and to help them deal with their problem and to work out their problems in Lavantil and to change the dynamics around Lavantil and to change the idea that if I want to prove myself, I have to just go and treat Lavantil people, the young people, the way they're showing themselves.
I have people with me whose job it is to say, you could go here, you could go there. I have 2 police officers, and they tell me that
police officers in Lavantil.
And you tell me don't say that, so I won't say it.
Don't say it. I want you to tell me.
No, but people say one.
The prime minister that you.
I want to walk in Lavantil.
You have to go to Lavantil.
I want to walk in Bitam. And people just tell me, here might be safe and here might be dangerous. But when I outside, and a lot of people from the most grassroots communities, they know me as gunman, because I end up with this thing, with this song, and it gunman.
We will get to that. That gunman in the hole, that?
I just saying. So I do not feel, and I have never felt.
Is that the song?
Yeah.
Gunman in jail.
That's not my song.
To me, and then you tell me why you like it.
Why I like it?
Not right now.
That is a story, but it wasn't me liking it that ended me up in it, you know. It was me.
Phillip, you went to St. Mary's College. Let us go back to St. Mary's College.
The significant things in my life were experiences of meeting people. Father Dick was my first dean, and he became friendly with the family. Very straightforward, interesting guy. He was the first dean to beat me, and that was surprising.
You mean beat corporal punishment?
Licks, proper licks, because I was small. I was small in St. Mary's. For the first 2 years at St. Mary's, I was very small, and people used to take advantage, but I was not weak, so I would fight back. I don't know what happened there to your screen. You just had a... Mama, I'm not hearing your audio. I'm not hearing you. I'm still not hearing you. I'm not hearing you.
People just trying to call me while I'm doing this, Cindy. I think I was getting a call from
You need
yeah.
when you're
And
using a
yes.
phone, and I'm just saying this so you can tell your daughter when you're using your phone, she can teach you this, that you go into your phone and
Yes, and stop
forward.
notification. I didn't do that today.
Oh, okay, well you can. And I apologize, ma'am. You're
Yeah,
clearly ahead of me. I just learned that.
yes, it's because we were doing this and doing that. I didn't go in and block notification.
Yeah.
So you know, our live already passed 35 minutes, and we are getting into the politics because the reason why I want you was to go back into that state is because I want to tell young people that it's a process and it's not a quick fix. It's not seeing you now and believing that you are who you are and it just took 5 years or 6 years. You have to be molded. You have to be grounded. You have to grow up knowing that there are things that you have to do as a child, as a teenager, and as an adult. So we're moving and we're going upwards because I want people to know. I want people to know, Phillip Alexander, your life experiences will mold you and other young people. We're not on the show so people could get something to go and to say, if you're here, Cora, or if you're here, Phillip. No, we're not on that. This life supposed to make you into the person that you want to become. Because right now, every other act that you do, people can predict you and predict what you will come with. You see, you are out there a long time. And you're not out there as a politician alone. You have been working with government. Tell me if you ever have. Tell me which political party that you have ever worked with before. There's a lot of things you have to answer here. You have to tell me about Gary Griffith. You have to tell me if you and he ever went to school. If you ever worked with him. If you ever worked with Kamala Bissessa. There's a lot of questions coming up for you. So we don't want to jump the gun. And we don't want to stay too labored on any one question. Because we have a lot to get to. We have to get to your party now. The state of your party. You have some dissidents going on in your party. We want to talk a little bit about that. We want to talk about, let me look at the screen. We want to talk about how you're handling yourself. We want to talk about the language that you use. We want to talk about the people that you are drawing or the people that rejecting you because they don't understand you. I want to introduce you to the people of Tobago. I understand that you want to contest Tobago, but we have a conversation to have. I want to ask you, have you ever been to Tobago? Have you ever campaigned in Tobago? So
is that the question? Oh.
These are all the questions and more.
You have people messaging me and saying, be gentle. This is not a time to be strong. But Mama Coco, I want to tell you something.
Calm down, just stay calm. Don't worry. What people already said about you, they say about you. What you do now from today will make you into who you want to be. Because right now, I'm telling you, the system of Trinidad and Tobago and the cultural specimens that we see in Trinidad and Tobago, that can't help young people. I am not the enemy, you know.
No.
So you're going to handle me with UK and attention.
Absolutely.
You're going to touch me gentle, because I'm here to touch you gentle but very stringent. We have to get to the point. I want to know why people could be listening to so much politics from you and still the crowd not fastening. Are you a solid rock? Because people want to fasten to a rock. So what made you choose to start a new political party? Because I know you should tell us first. Have you ever been a PNM?
I voted for Keith Rowley in 2007, even though I was a member of the Congress of the People.
You voted him to get into as a senator or
No.
a representative?
In my constituency, Diego Martin West, Keith Rowley and Rocky Garcia were the options, and Rocky Garcia was not an option to me then. So the lesser of the two evils then, because I was a member of the Congress of the People, and this was hot.
A member of the Congress of the People.
Yeah.
Under whose government?
No. The Congress of the People was a party.
Oh, a party.
Yeah. I actually left the Congress of the People when they joined with the UNC to form the People's Partnership. I only went back into the Congress of the People when Vernon de Lima had an interview on TV6 one morning with Fazir Mohammed and told the Prime Minister, this is not what the people signed up for. And he was a senior member of the COP, so I went back. Because I thought, well, okay, if the party's standing up for principle, then I will go back. But
so
I voted.
COP? You know,
the Congress of the People was...
They are the ones that joined with Sister Kamala Bissessa to form.
Yeah, but what begat the Congress of the People was the fallout between Dukaran and Pandey, and then that gathered all of the floating voters who are neither PNM or UNC, and they all joined up with the COP. And people who are neither fish nor fowl in Trinidad.
Did you join the COP? Did you move with the COP and form the alliance with?
No, when the COP joined with the UNC to form the People's Partnership, I became an independent. I started a blog called Plain Talk, which my show is named Plain Talk now. But my blog, Plain Talk, was the most viewed, most published. It led to me having columns in The Guardian and The Express every week, big story, and then a full-time guest columnist, and then full-time columnist in the TNT Mirror twice a week, weekend and weekday edition. I had decided then that we had no option in Trinidad because we in the Congress of the People saw the PNM and the UNC as two sides of the same cancer. And then to choose a cancer, to me, seemed disingenuous and hypocritical. So I stepped out because we still want to try and build a party on principle and on ethics and on all inclusion. And the PNM and the UNC, by their nature, are not all-inclusive. I had to vote for Keith Rowley in 2007 to make a point to my party that the same stupidness that the PNM doing today.
So remember, you're teaching people today that you didn't vote for Keith Rowley because of policies. Listen to me. And this is what we are here for. This is why I say I'm going to interview you, because I want people to start to learn what and why do you vote. Are you voting because you don't like something about the other party, or are you voting because the party or you want to give your vote to will be dealing with the policies of the day and policies that will do good for children? So the question again, what made you choose to start a new political party instead of remaining with an established party?
Because the other parties kept betraying us over and over and over. You asked earlier about Gary Griffith.
Yeah. No, keep with this first, because then we will get to Gary Griffith. Because
this actually is part of that.
You used to work with Gary Griffith?
Yes.
Gary Griffith was working with which party?
When Gary was the Minister of National Security under the People's Partnership, United National, UNC, COP government, I went to see Gary, who I knew from school, St. Mary's College, and I knew Gary.
And you were from school, you and he was in school together?
Gary was ahead of me a year.
Okay.
But I knew Gary, and all through the years growing up, I mean, he was somebody around and I was somebody around. We knew each other.
So when he was a soldier, you knew him as a soldier?
Yes, I mean, we used to party, and I mean, we real party nowadays, you know. I mean, I want to tell you something. Yeah. So anyway,
the new party. Why you formed the new party? And
the Jericho Project was my activism.
yes.
My son's name is Joshua. Joshua Alexander. When Joshua was still a little toddler, we took all of his stuff that he outgrew. Joshua he had so much stuff and so many family and so much friends, and he'd get so much. So we went to give it to the orphanages and to make that an outreach and to start to collect stuff for orphanages.
The orphanage still in Jericho?
Yeah, but not that orphanage. We started off with the orphanage in Belmont. But the conditions the children were living in those orphanages was heartbreaking, especially seeing how good my son had it, and thinking that these children, it wouldn't take much for them to get better. So, and I want to tell you, I told you earlier that it is because of my parents. My mother's actions and my father's words shaped me. My father would tell me things like, to whom much is given, much is expected.
I have it here. I have it here to read for you.
Those things locked in my head. If you see a situation that you could help, you have to help. So we formed the Jericho Project because our grand mission was to break down the walls that separated these children from the rest of the national family. And in the Bible, Joshua and the trumpet that blew down the wall of Jericho, that's why we call it Jericho Project. And all of the people...
How that project was funded?
It was never funded. I want to tell you this. All the people that came on board to form it were people that I knew from social media. Jamie Maraj, Melissa Janu, Tara Dial, and other people who came over time. Some would stay for a while because Jericho Project now is as old as Joshua, and Joshua is 26. And so for all that time, we had the Jericho Project. All of these people have still been in the Jericho Project. And we didn't need funding because we were good at begging. And we would beg for stuff. We still do. We beg.
Well, instead of saying begging, you seek donations.
No. We don't want. We never wanted money, and we've never had a bank account. 26 years old, the Jericho Project has never, not one time ever, had a bank account. It's never been able to receive funds because we wanted to keep it in this dirty land. We wanted to keep it unimpeachable. That was the rule. So we would beg.
What kind of land are you talking about?
This dirty, corrupt land. Everything that you look at. Cora, you would have
our country not dirty, you know that, right? Our country not dirty is the people. Might be doing some weird stuff.
Cora,
so my dear Mr. Phillip,
if I didn't love Trinidad, I gone long. I tell you, when I tell you I happy, I'm not joking. You know?
No, well, we know you're happy. We see you're happy.
No, but I'm telling you that if I didn't love Trinidad and Tobago, I gone long. Cora, this is not an easy fight, you know.
I know it can't
this
be
fight I fight in here. Not even the Congress of the people. I want to say this. Not even Winston Dukaran, not Carl Hudson Phillips, not the Congress of the People, not the ONR or the NAR fought the fights that I am fighting. Trinidad is a narco state. Billions of dollars.
We are jumping the gun again. how did Jericho Project prepare you for politics?
Over the years,
because seeing that you never do the Jericho Project by natural means, you know, step to step and so on, and you go on begging. So you begging people. Listen. You go begging, people reject you. You have to build up energy to go again. And this is the kind of fight that you find yourself in still. Let us do things in order. There is a chronological way to do things to succeed and to get to the pinnacle. And you are having our lovely debate, jump and jump. This is sequential, and we have to do it in order. So how did all these things prepare you now? Because you can't be out there and easily frazzled. You can't let a question ask.
I'm not a trained politician. I'm not a professional politician. I am.
No, well, we need professionalism.
No.
Because we see what America end up with.
Yeah.
We know who President Trump was before he became a president. We accepted it. We accepted his ways, and now we have to deal with it from an administrative point of view, where at times he gets out of control. We can't do that with you. We have to get you to be who you are. You say you are a gentleman. Let us interview a gentleman today. Tell us, why should we vote for you? One, why the situation that we in, that's very bad, and you could be saying that we nasty people or dirty people. How can you change it?
I didn't say we're nasty people. I said we have a nasty country.
Nasty country. Yeah, well, I was telling that the people are nasty.
People like on. Cora, along the way,
Mama Coco,
along the
I
way,
want to keep the mama thing with you.
I just don't want people to think I'm being disingenuous. And you see, I'm not good at promoting myself, you know.
That is what I'm finding out here right now. That is why I am here to promote you.
I could promote anybody. I could fix anything. I am amazing at what I do. But the problem that I have is I do not like to lie. I'm not good at it. So it's get myself in trouble. I talk straight.
You have to answer the question in sequence.
No, but
so people can repeat after you. And the kind of politics that you showing us is that you just want evidence on people so that people could look terrible and people will see you in the limelight. It won't always be that way. If you should become the prime minister, it will be all up to you. And you have to prepare right now. In the name of the Jesus Christ that you studied and you learn and you grow up with. I am telling you, my brother, we have to take it in sequence. So what exactly is your political mandate?
Mama, they have no sequence to this. We don't have the time for this. You ask me questions. Clive Pantin formed a drug rehabilitation center. I was in Living Waters. They sent us to paint Living Waters. They sent us to paint up at Mount St. Benedict, where the drug rehab place was going to be set up. And I was in an earlier version of my life, art was important to me. I used to love to paint. And when they were starting up this New Life Ministries rehab center and I was a young man, I was 20 years old, and I volunteered to come up there every Thursday. I'd go up to Mount St. Benedict and I would do art classes with the patients, the inmates. They were locked in there. And I'd go and do art classes with them, but they talked to me and they told me a lot of things. And I mean, I heard things about family members. I heard things about my family members. I heard things about big businessmen in this country. And I was still young and I was still naive and I didn't believe and I didn't want to believe the things that I was hearing about the drug trade and drug trafficking and narcotics in this country. And it became too much. I I stopped that for a while. There was a time I had contemplated joining the priesthood. I was very good friends with the Archbishop of Port of Spain when he was just Jason. And Monsignor Mike de Vertile, I knew him as Mike. And there was a time I thought that maybe my path in life would be to be a priest, because I spent that much time in the church. But I didn't have that call. This that I do, this is an itch. I wake up every morning. Every morning I wake up, I tell myself, I am not doing this today. I'm taking a day off today. I'm not doing this today. And every single day, I'm back in it. And I wish it wasn't. I wish I didn't have to sacrifice the amount I sacrifice. I wish I didn't have to give up the amount I give up. I wish I didn't have to fight the amount of fights I fight. This conversation here with you tonight is so difficult for me. I am not accustomed. I am not.
Don't say that and make people feel bad and stuff.
Not you.
If you just stick to the simple questions instead of going.
I may have said that badly. I want to tell you that I know my skin has gotten too thick. It's gotten too thick. I've been, Mama Coco, this is not an easy job, you know.
If you are the political leader, my friend, listen to your Mama Coco tonight. I will never lead you. I will never go tricking. I will never go slippery on you. I'm just saying, if you are the leader, the political leader of the PEP, listen to me. What's your political mandate? Don't go back going all over and getting into this spot that people putting you in right now. Get out from there.
Mama,
stay focused on you. Stay focused on what you want to do and why people should vote for you.
If it wasn't for the people who gave up the life and time, Denise Xavier in New York City, Anthony Senanan and his wife Joan in Toronto, Satish Ramsaran, who you've been talking to as Pep Media, Felicia Holler, the chairman of this party. If it wasn't for them and the amount that they sacrificed, there are days I'd walk away from this already, you know.
Don't say that. That is not. That is
listen, you want me to be honest? This is how I feel.
No, don't say that. Saying that will make people realize we can't vote for this man.
Listen,
this man against certain people. This man against certain people. This man can't sit down and do an interview with Mama Coco.
The government
of all the people.
No, the government.
You have to sit and do this interview. I charge you tonight. You have to sit there and do this interview the way it should be done.
Yes, ma'am.
Stop going on this. I don't like pity party. I go through a lot of things in my life for me to get to this point with 2 children as a single mother. And there is no stress factor that you are trying to implement right now will give you the satisfaction to be speaking this way as the political leader and saying that you are going through some things in your party.
Ma'am, if it came across in any way like weakness, I want
to coming across as weakness.
I want to disabuse you of that notion. I want to tell you something. The reason I want to step aside is I think sometimes I am too strong. I think sometimes, because I have a good heart and I don't like to hurt people. When people hurt me and I have to hurt them back, after I hurt them back, I feel sorry for them. And I don't like that. I don't like that constant mission. But anyway, as you said,
those are not qualities to share with people.
I do not lie.
The hurting and hurting back.
I don't lie.
We're seeing it happening here in America. With
America. I want to tell you something.
Listen to me.
Lead this country. The only person to lead this country is somebody that is capable of breaking the back of the corrupt. There is nothing else. And if you think that there is something else, I'm not trying to sell anything else. I promise Trinidad and Tobago, there are people in this country that did things to this country that should be treasonous and they should be hanged for it. That ruined.
We know all of that.
Okay, but you need somebody that could come and actually do it. This is not about them little penny
murderers.
How
are you going to break the back? How are you going to break the back? by fighting back with this
Right,
way.
and
And
the
no,
politics of the country, the all the back and forth and the tussle with the politics, that's the
this
stress.
is
The
this is
government,
why
the
this is
government
why the
of this
PNM
country,
this is why the PNM party just go about winning every year, because they stick to their guns. They ain't talking about weakness and they ain't coming back. PNM ain't going anywhere. And some people ain't moving
that's not
anywhere. They
why
want to
PNM
stick
wins.
with PNM.
PNM
Listen
wins
to me.
because
I
PNM.
am a PNM. Do you
Yeah.
know that I never voted for any other party in my life?
Mama Coco, you ever ask yourself the millions of dollars that the PNM gives away? You ever ask yourself at election time, millions of dollars? When they have an event in Eddie Hart, Savannah, and they pay 25,000 people $500 a head to come, and they pay the maxi taxi driver to bring them, those millions of dollars, you ever ask yourself where it comes from, how it is accounted for, who put it in that party? This is not brick and cement people putting that money in. That is not. That is
Well,
not,
okay. I see where you want us
no, I
to go.
don't. But I'm telling you, will you tell me about why PNM wins? PNM wins by fooling people every single election. And I can't go down that road too.
Well, then fooling people by pushing them away. They're fooling them by bringing them close. So that's what I'm trying to tell
I
you.
cannot lie.
Whatever technique, no,
I cannot. I cannot
whatever
lie.
technique that
I
you
cannot
should
lie.
use.
I cannot lie.
Well, lie is subject for interpretation.
I can't lie. I can't be disingenuous.
I know what you're saying.
Mama Coco, all of my problems in my politics is because I don't want to lie.
I wonder who I want to introduce to Trinidad and Tobago, especially Tobago. Especially Tobagonians who we were deceived from one nation to another. Europeans play with our mind, they mess with us.
Tobago was the most fought.
Tobago get played.
Yes.
Tobago never get good representation from
Never.
anyone from Trinidad.
Never.
So,
At no time ever.
Just answer my questions and let us get to the point so I can introduce you and ask you if you have ever met with Watson Duke, and if you ever talk with him, and who is he to you. I want to get this going the way it should be going. We don't want, this is not your life where you have to fight on every issue and every name of who do this and who thief that. We don't want that.
Yeah, but I have been.
We want to know your mandate.
Yeah, but I've been in the stratosphere.
I want to know how you would fix it.
You want me to come down to ground. It takes a while. If I knew that this was the interview, I think I might have taken a week off and meditated a little bit to bring
That's
my.
why I was telling you before.
I don't
Do you want us to wait? Because
it was such a loving interview. I thought, listen, every interview.
I offered you the questions.
Mama Coco,
Because I recognize within my spirit, which is the spirit of truth. And that's the way you end up on other shows arguing and fighting. Because you want to answer on the spot. You can't answer certain things on the spot. You see, there's a spirit that leading this interview, and it's called the spirit of truth, which is supposed to guide us throughout all truth. We don't have to work hard for the truth. And sometimes you work a little bit too hard to get a point that you already win. People know you, they know what you're going after. They know that you used to work with Gary Griffith. They know that you know Gary Griffith. What people don't want to know is that you are on the end, leading Gary Griffith in investigations.
No.
Calling him whenever you call him, he could answer you.
No, but Mama.
We put Gary Griffith in a very bad spot. And you love this party. Gary Griffith was given a raw deal.
A raw deal. An absolute raw deal. People don't know.
I don't want you to be praising Gary Griffith too much doing his job, while the people who the job being done to, no one is doing anything to lift them out of poverty.
No, nobody.
Lift them out of, listen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for Gary Griffith. Because you see, Gary Griffith wasn't trained to protect and serve. Gary Griffith was trained as a military man, kill or be killed.
One shot, one kill.
That is not his job. A lot of our young people who commit crime, they're not really born criminals. Circumstances.
Yeah, but
and we're not seeing it that way.
Yeah, but again,
where you a politician in right there in Port of Spain, but you don't go Laventille and keep meetings. You don't call a walkathon in Laventille. Have you opened up a party group in Laventille?
Yes. We have caretakers in all 41 constituencies.
I am want to hear about caretakers.
Well, that's what
each constituency have a different problem.
Yes, but each constituency
in our party, leaders. Like when Mr. Hines became this man, just young boy with the dreadlocks, I was so excited. I said, whoa, a young man, a dreadlocks man. He's going to do good for the young people of Laventille. And when they had to soak him down with water, and water in the spirit is powerful for cleansing, for awakening, I knew he get a spiritual bath for consciousness. We want to see you today on my life exercise the authority that you believe you receive. And don't tell us it's because people hurt you, you want to open up a new party. Okay, now, I'm here to listen, brother, my friend. I'm not here to bully you, but I'm here so that people, your people and my people, you have me throwing away all my questions in vain and answering my questions for myself. I bring you here to speak. I bring you here as a teacher. I bring you here as a point man, a point guard. I bring you here in defense of, but you're not doing what you are good at. You see, what you're showing me right now is that the man that I just follow on Facebook is not the guy that sits down here in front of me right now. Answer the questions. Have you been to Tobago since forming your political party?
Myself, no, the team twice.
What's the team? Who's the team?
Felicia went, Shari, Michelle, a couple of the other team members went across. We have Glenn Robinson, he's across there every other week. He is the point person answerable to the leadership for Tobago.
Tonight I'm listening to you, so recognizing that you are the leader and you are the boss. Why haven't you been to Tobago?
Because we've had as our policy internally that we would set up caretakers in Tobago, but that at some point, and we have members in Tobago, we would work with Tobagonians to solve Tobago's problems. And this is because, and we could be wrong, but we've seen Trinidadians try to dictate to Tobago, and Tobago's had a richer history than Trinidad, and Tobago should be one of the richest countries in the world in and of itself. And it's been a difficult road. There is a PNM controlled Tobago House of Assembly. I speak regularly with people like Chrislyn Moore. You alluded earlier if I ever met Watson Duke. I've known Watson Duke for a while, and we spoke a couple times.
Concerning what?
We're
dealing with politics. Concerning what?
If you ask about what are the politics we've spoken about there may come a time that we should work together.
There may come a time?
I am willing.
How long is that time? Are you going to contest? Are you going to have candidates to run?
Mama, all of those questions, believe it or not, are up in the air. Because they have good people.
The election is coming, Kid Rowley,
I know, but they have good people in Tobago that should be
Rowley in Tobago today. When are you going to get Tobago ready? A young man reached out to me and was talking to me and stuff, and he told me his name is Willon.
Willon Ivan Lewis.
Yes. Do you know him?
Very well.
And what are your plans with him and for him?
Willan is an integral part of the party, and he has responsibility for Tobago too.
He has responsibility. Did you give him the responsibility, or he just believe that because he is from Tobago?
We've put him as part of the Tobago team. There's a Tobago team. We've broken responsibility for mobilization up into North, East, Central, South Tobago. So there are teams. There is a mobilization team, a party organization team. There are hubs, North, East, Central, South, and Tobago.
We are South in Tobago. We don't think we are South. We are the
North, East, Central, South, and Tobago. Sorry about that. I talk fast. And each of those hubs have a leader, and their job is to establish in the 10 constituencies that they have the 2 in Tobago, caretakers and team captains and street captains to organize, to mobilize, to bring out people to vote.
Tobago is not an easy spot to really.
It's not.
It's not an easy spot right now. It took a lot of guts and whisper for Watson Duke to make that breakthrough. And you as the political leader, I think it's imperative that you should have been to Tobago, and imperative that you should go to Tobago, and you should meet with the opposition. Kind of Tobago and have all this amount of people. And Tobago people, so we mind in Tobago, it already made up. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm introducing you, the man, the leader of Tobago, the leader of the PEP, to the people of Tobago. However, there is a junction that you are going to have to meet and cross. And I think just knowing Watson is not enough. So why should the people of Trinidad and Tobago cast a vote for you, my dear Phillip Alexander?
I'd fix it.
And the PP. You'll fix it.
We'd fix everything.
Okay.
Our policies are unimpeachable. Professionals, even opposition politicians steal our policies. Our policies are, again, I've been a writer, and reinventing Trinidad and Tobago was when I was a social and political activist, and during my times with the media and plain talk, I would be compiling interviews in a book that I wanted to use published called Reinventing Trinidad and Tobago. That became our manifesto. It was from investigations and interviews.
I see you have 21 issues. I read it.
21 policies. That's a sneak peek of 100 policies that's going to make up a manifesto. 21 is a sneak peek. We have policies on everything. And when we touch down on policies and talk about, because if you ask me the solution to anything, we've investigated that and we've spoken to people about that. And my plain talk series of shows at night is to bring professionals and people who are world renowned, or at least well-known and successful in Trinidad, to tell you that yes, these things can be fixed. One of the common questions I ask all of the guests that I bring on that show is, can this be fixed? And they always answer yes, with the right political will, with the right government.
Everybody's saying that. Everybody just say they can fix it. But I'm asking you here today.
Trinidad is deliberately broken, Mama Coco.
It is deliberately broken.
It is a criminal
asking you, my friend,
paradise.
what's your mandate?
My mandate is to break the corruption and reinvent Trinidad and Tobago. There is a contract mafia that Basilio Pantin used to refer to as the parasitic oligarchy. They've gone nowhere. Johnny O'Halloran stole billions of dollars from this country and built towers in Toronto with our money. Our money built edifices to greed in Panama and London, as far away as Liechtenstein. I had to look it up in Atlas. Our money, $3 trillion, $3,000 billion have been stolen. That is such a ridiculous amount of money. Mama Coco, we could have taken that money and Trinidad and Tobago could have bought the other islands. We could have been the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and Antigua, St. Kitts, St. Croix, Nevis, St. Lucia, Dominica. We could have buy the rest. with the kind of money that we've lost.
That's right. That's right. Mr. Alexander, you know, we have a real big audience.
I know.
And we have real questions for you.
Us all.
I hope, you know, the way you pet me and you prep me, you make me believe that when you come on this live, I will get the guy that I really want.
But you have me off balance.
Interview.
You
wait a minute.
You have me off balance.
Wait a minute.
You have this touchy feeling.
You have thousands of people that be supporting you as your friends, but you're treating me on this live, not answering my question in order for them to hate me. I hope they don't hate Mama Coco. Mama Coco is one of the best interviewer that you have ever met.
Vernon Believer has said 3 times to me as a WhatsApp, she's right. Again, she's right.
Are you going to come back?
Hear what Vernon Believer said.
Are you going to come back on my live?
All of them want to come on your show. They're loving you plenty. They're loving you. So don't worry about that at all.
Do you want to come back on my live? Because we have something to talk about.
Mama Coco, you could breathe.
You told me to handle your tough. You tell me don't ease up on you. You tell me don't sanitize you.
Don't.
Well, I'm asking you a question now. What is wrong with your party?
We don't have money.
How do you get money? This barrel sales. Tell me about the barrel. What do you sell in the barrel?
Anthony Sinanan, Joe Sinanan, the team in Toronto, the teams, and the barrel sale is one thing we do. We sell all our t-shirts, we sell all our merchandise. Sasha Ali and her crew is in charge of the merchandise team, so all the pep shirts and all the pep cups, things like this, all of this is how we make money. We sell pep pens, we sell pep hats. We have nothing to give away. We have fantastic members who donate to us $5, $10, $15, $20. We are the penny bank of politics. We always broke and catching tail, but we always get through.
Well, let me ask you the question again. There is a rift between you and your second in command, Mr. Anthony, what's his surname? Defoe. You know, we have to end the live. We may have to come back. And some lady that knows him well, because I understand that that's a friend. He's a married man. Is he divorced?
I can't get into his personal business.
No, that's asking you because I want to talk about Miss Bermudez. Come on. You don't want to talk? So Miss Bermudez,
I will
answer his girlfriend
anything.
Or his wife?
I can't say that. She's not his wife.
Okay, well, okay, right. So do you think you handled his resignation with leadership qualities?
That I know that's a leading question. I know that there is no right way for me to say that I did wrong. Mama, I want you to...
You're wrong.
I am not trained at this. I am not trained at this. I deal with a lot. I do in this party.
Don't raise the voice.
I apologize. Come down. Rowley and Kamala Prasad Misesa have teams and organizations and committees and companies to do. I do. And Satish does, and Felicia and Shari and Sean Sunarayan and Anne-Marie Dulal and Michelle Davis and the whole team. You going along with your political...
I am talking to you concerning Mr. Anthony.
Yes, you asked me if I think that I handled it properly. No.
Well, say that. We don't want... Remember, I told you that I may have to end the live because there's another big live that we have to do that people have to... A lot of people want to talk to Mama Coco. I'm giving you the chance.
Nice.
Did you handle Mr. Because that guy is a very good guy. I watch you and he already early morning shows and...
We haven't... Mama Coco, up until whatever this is that went on, Tony and I had an excellent friendship, an excellent relationship. We worked well together. I used to call him my wingman.
Is it over?
Is our friendship over?
Yeah.
I can't say. You have to wait for a fire to out.
You
People
accepted his resignation without contesting or asking.
Mama Coco, they forced me for 2 weeks trying to get me to fire him.
Nobody can force you.
That's
You
what
have
they
a
were
strong
doing
mind.
outside. People sending you stuff. I could send you stuff too, you know. They
Send
were
me.
forcing me to fire him. They were provoking me to fire him. And I told Tony, I said, take as much time as you need. Go and sort out your personal life and come back. I'm not firing you. So he resigned. But
I learned tonight that you can't be forced. You are such a strong guy.
That's not.
And wherever you determine this ball to roll, it rolls.
No, you see.
So now, Miss
women.
Bermudez, who is Miss Bermudez? Why did you respond to her in the way you did?
Because she's been disrespectful.
Well, you can't play the game.
Yes, now, Mama Coco, you asked me a question. You need to
You are the leader.
You have to let me answer this one, though.
Answer. Go ahead. You have to.
She's been disrespectful to some very decent, hardworking people in this party that I have restrained from answering her. And we have had meetings after meetings with Tony over the course of 6 months. This destroyed Tony's personal life. It wrecked his business. He and his wife fall apart.
Well, you're saying not talking his personal business, so don't
No,
go there.
this is the part that I could tell you about because he kept coming to me and telling me that these were the situations that was going on. Because we in the party didn't want to lose Tony, and we still don't want to lose Tony. But I don't know, Mama. Some things happen that just beyond your control. This is beyond my control.
No, nothing is beyond your control. You controlling things. You controlling things. Listen, my son, I'm your Mama Coco. And I am telling you right now that you have to get a different way of handling stuff. You understand me? I'm using the word have to. And I think I know why I'm using the word have to. You see,
you're not wrong.
There is a word that you have to sit back home as from now on and see if you could work with that word. Decorum. Decorum. Man to man, you could have reached out, forget the woman, excuse me, and deal with Anthony. Anthony would have dealt with you if you and him just recognize that, you know, this thing should be better. This is too close to an election.
This had nothing to do with me. Mama Coco, this had nothing to do with me. By the time at this point, it had nothing to do with me. This started off, and this started off with problems. When she came and she joined the party and she was getting involved, she has potential. She has wonderful abilities if used properly.
Plus she's pretty.
Mama Coco, you have to let me finish some of these. People's skills are not the best. And I have been moving her around inside the party, trying to shield and protect her. And I mean, we have tomes of information about this. When you look and see the nonsense that she's talking and the whole party is ignoring her, they're doing that for a reason.
Okay.
He's gone.
Mr. Alexander, you know how much I respect and care for you. And I
wanted to say, you say that you've been following me, but I follow you. And I have been watching the work that you do. You are such a strong and grounding influence that when you asked for this interview, I said yes, but you have inside my skull hurting me up on the top. Right about
my
here.
friend,
Right
we
about
have
here.
a lot of questions.
Right about here.
People.
I don't mind the loving questions. You hurt my skull. But I just want to say this.
Would you come back?
Any day, anytime.
Well, start to read some questions here.
I have to get a proper, my iOS on all of my devices.
Okay. Well, Cher Joy is saying, good evening, Mama Coco and Mr. Phillip Alexander. I would like Mr. Alexander to do something about those wayward Spanish folks. So, please, when a valid complaint is made against those people, we're not going to stay long to answer that.
We've not taken proper care of them.
We have real questions here.
We've not put anything in place for them. And then COVID-19 came along and wiped out any way for the government to take care of our own people. We have about 300,000 people in this country living desperate lives, just around the poverty line or lower. And then you add 150,000 Venezuelans to that. And we
I want us to slow down. You see the Venezuelan thing and the and the Tobago and the way in which you are handling yourself on social media with people, and the easy way that you use languages that you're good. People believe in you. People trust you. You don't have to impress people by using some of the language that you use. So let us answer some questions here, my friend.
Wait a minute. You made a statement.
Yes, what is the statement?
That I would like to answer.
You tell me don't ease up on you, you know.
Yeah, but you made a statement.
Go, answer me.
If I leave it hanging there, then it sounds like I agree with what you said. Mama Coco, if I get vexed and I do a live video, I get 1 million views.
Well, that is not million views.
I am blocked on traditional media.
That is not where you should get.
Mama Coco, I am
not where you should get your idea of winning the election.
Well, I'm just saying, there has to be a way to get.
You see, 1 million views is not 1 million votes.
Indeed.
That's what we have to do here.
Indeed.
You're looking for votes. You're not looking for views.
Indeed. But I'm not looking for 150,000 votes.
Have you ever recognized that my Trinidad sisters and brothers create one of the strangest way of doing videos and live with? I won't go there. I ain't hate anybody. Let's answer one question and answer.
I need to be able to say this to you, that we blocked on traditional media and we're not looking to come second. I'm in this for all the marbles. And at the end of the day, I tell people all the time, Mama, you're not letting me finish any of my statements.
I hear you go ahead. I'm in sympathy with everything. Go ahead. I know what you're saying.
You see, again, this is about fixing the problems in Trinidad and Tobago. And I know that you say that you have to get elected to fix it. But if people don't know and don't believe that you could, then you have no chance of getting elected. And we're not putting out all of this effort to come second. I do not think that Trinidad...
But you can come second.
I do not think Trinidad needs...
Becoming second is not that
I do not
get your business done.
No, but I do not think Trinidad needs more well-crafted lies. I think Trinidad at the point now... You see what's going on in America? See what's going on in America tonight?
I don't want to see
because they've been lying.
I don't want to believe that Trinidad...
lying. Trump has been lying. What's going on in America? That curfew that you have right now is because Bush, Trump, Clinton, Obama, all have lied to the people. Well-crafted lies.
You know we're not going to go there right now.
No, but I'm saying to you, when
the people that listen to me.
Where should that going?
Family. The people that listen to you, they have questions for us. And we're going to do about 10 questions and we have to end the show. So can we get some questions? No more in this thing there, because this is not an argument. People put questions up and I want the technicians and them.
People love the
technicians to run the question. This is the same person before. No, Mr. Alexander, this is my personal question to you. It is alleged that you are owing persons monies from previous years gone by. Is it the truth? And if so, can you treat with it or deal with it before aspiring to become Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister? My reason, the letters are so fine. I'm 64 years. It
She
makes me
said
realize if I'm picking.
she's fed up of ministers entering politics for personal gain, as well as people having to always call our politicians crooks because of their past. And Mama Coco, if I
Are you guilty?
if I wanted to do this for money, I'd have joined the PNM and the UNC. I was offered seats to contest for both parties, PNM and UNC. In fact, Daryl Smith ended up in a seat that Justin Phelps was supposed to get because the Keith Rowley didn't want Amy Brown, and he offered me to fight Diego Martin Central after the round table and the Section 34 march. The UNC offered me Diego Martin West. I went on my own and I ran as an independent. If I wanted to make money, I know the fastest way. I am releasing a letter to the Integrity Commission tomorrow going after GTEC and its former board and some of the things that has happened between Trinidad and Haiti that Trinidad don't know about. There is bacchanal and theft in this country from the top down, and Janelle Alexander, if that was her name, she damn right to ask that question. And girl, they will make all kind of allegations about me because that is how nasty our politics is. But you could tell them that I told you, A, I don't want to know the questions. You could ask me anything you want. And B,
that's why I told you.
You can open the phone lines.
You see, the on-the-spot answering right now is showing you up as who I don't want people in Tobago to see. So here we are. There's a question from someone wanting to know who is Mama Coco. I wanted you to answer. Bayram. Who is Mama Coco?
Somebody just alleged that I working with the PNM. Yesterday, Ubashi from the news media called me to say they hear I screamed for the UNC. It is stupid, nasty politics. This is how the game is played.
Bayram darling, this is not the life to ask me who I am. This is the life for you to ask questions that Mr. Alexander could answer and to save his party from going down. And for people like you who I know following him, not to sit there and just saying yes to everything. Is to stay there and to help guide him and help to protect his name and his integrity. Janelle James Alexander, I said, Mr. Alexander, next question is, alleged that you are working with PNM party. Well, he just answered that. Don't go back. Janelle says no. Next question. Moving on.
53 years old, January 17, 1967.
Moving on. Janelle is saying, yes, it may be the party, but for some reason, it's not.
I don't know what she means.
Reachable by all.
I'm not sure I understand what she means by that.
Janelle doesn't understand. Moving on. We have real questions.
Bring all.
We may not be able to do that. The engineers have to go out to work. Another question, please. Alicia Peniston is saying, she sure is. He keeps straying from the topic. Moving on.
You see what you have them thinking?
Is you not following in instruction? We were doing good. We were right there.
We will do more. See,
you're trying to be on your best behavior.
I don't know how to do that. What is my mandate? To end corruption.
Janelle have another question for you. Read Janelle's question.
Mr. Alexander, I would like to vote for you, but you keep pussyfooting around. What is your mandate? Janelle, I tried to answer Mama Coco before. I said we want to
never give it.
We want to break the backs of the contract mafia and look, you're real good. I rate you. My whole was full of people rating you. Anyway, Janelle, we want to break the back of corruption. You cannot fix Trinidad and Tobago until you end corruption. When we end corruption, we need to reinvent. People, thank you very much. One for me.
I'm a girl, yes. She said?
The girlfriend? Well, at least she come out batting for me. Look, I want to invite Janelle to go to peptt.com because there's no way for me to give her in the 30 seconds I have to answer these questions. Janelle, I want you to go to peptt.com. My number is 6822110. You could WhatsApp me and I will answer any question you want.
Because you want to vote for you. She just be on your live, you know.
Just Kennedy say who
just listen, read this one, brother.
Anisha Peniston say you only have mouth behind a screen. Meet him in person. In person, I am a teddy bear. Mr. Alexander, who's the caretaker for Tobago and where's the office located? Right now, Glenn Robinson is the caretaker for Tobago. We're not spending any money on any rents because of COVID-19. So right after, whenever we back open for business, we will launch that. He must be saying, what I come on this interview for? Not at all. I'm enjoying Coco and I look forward to coming back.
You have to come back.
All Phillip teeth drop out on this live. What I mean?
I don't know why you do that. I don't know why you behave that way.
Jillian Gomez said that is true.
What G. Anthony saying?
Say all you know is Duke. You want to lead the PEP? Come on. Hey, I want Mama Coco to join the Progressive Empowerment Party. They have a role and a place for her. That's
right. Let's go.
Why have you not visited Tobago? For many reasons, mostly because I thought I would get stranded in Tobago. From the time this government come into office, they shut down the Superfast Glacier, and after that, it was Bacchanal for about 2 years.
Excuse Paul.
Mama, the 2 times we sent the team across, we hired Kerry Grant with a private plane.
But your other people came. How come you couldn't come? Let's go. Moving on. Come on, read Jillian, brother. Read Jillian. 53-year-old man. Read Jillian.
The people want to hear what you will do differently for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Jillian Goben, peptt.com. We do not have the time to answer that question in this thing. When you are going to battle, you must always be prepared. Indeed. I have a rose.
He told me he doesn't want anything.
I have a rose. Go hard on him.
I want all your people to know, you know.
Tell them.
We are 2 hours right now. 2 hours. You told me you don't want the questions. I told you, let me give you some so that you could research and come ready because I am going to ask you.
Put on your whole armor. You are not ready, sir. Giles Marxed. I don't know what that means, but
maybe she be on your life too.
Maybe if she get to know me, that maybe if she got to know me, she'll realize I always have on my armor. Maybe that's the problem. Let me get my popcorn. Cindy.
Lizzie Ramirez, Wati Branca, what she said.
Whatever happened to Janice that was an integral part of PEP. Janice has a job that in one of these spin-off companies from Petrotrin, and she and her husband are concerned that political exposure now could cost her job. Plenty PEP members lost their jobs in work that they were doing, victimization, all how. So when they land a job, Janice is in a position where she cannot be politically exposed. Up to today, this morning, Janice and I talking. Then, Phillip, I think you need to come out of big business, you know. Come on, Judith. That easy to do to sit down behind. It's easy to sit behind and just attack people. Giles, your next comment, you tell them who you think ready. Tell them who you think ready. In a country that $3 trillion was stolen.
Moving on, we're gonna do 5 more questions and we're done.
None of these are questions, though.
Oh, really? They're commenting against you?
It's not that. It's just that you're not. It's easy to just sit down there and pelt stone. But I was hoping that your moderator would have been sending actual questions that we could have answered. Janelle James Alexander answered everything she asked except what you're going to do for the country. As a manifesto, that'll take an hour and 50 minutes to read. Now 15.
Yeah, 21 of.
Tell us you have to go to peptt.com. That was it. If you're in charge, how would you address folks in charge of divisions with missing monies? That is an interesting question. How would you address folks in charge of divisions with missing monies? Our intention is to put together a team with responsibility to audit from 1962, September 1st, 1962 to now. We want to open every file. It is our intention to track down every ongoing conspiracy of every type of white-collar criminality and corruption that has looted this country and go back for the money. That's our intention. What keeps Phillip?
Well, Edward, we don't have these questions are my question that I didn't get to ask you.
What keeps Phillip?
Because the engineers are saying that they don't have questions, they just have disappointment.
But I like that question. What keeps Phillip Alexander up at night?
That's my question.
My dog George ate a bird, and that bird's husband or wife comes by my window and sings for whichever husband or wife that George killed, and it's keep me up every night now.
The bird is our next bird is coming.
Where have you worked the past 2 years, and where are you getting money? I'm a real estate developer. I am a communications advisor. We own Caribbean Online Yellow Pages. We founded Caribbean Online Yellow Pages before Facebook and Google came to Trinidad. We've been pioneers in the social media movement and have done the online management and marketing for some of the biggest companies in this country like Republic Bank and Angostura. And we still do that today. Anaya Kelly. Vote splitting. Stephanie Roberts says vote splitting. I don't know what that means. I'm thinking that she's saying that the PNM did us wrong and the UNC did us wrong. Let's keep going between the PNM and the UNC and battle with that wrong rather than try something new. I clearly believe he's just too passionate, but he seems to be honest. Thank you very much, Desron Phillip. And I wish I knew if that was a boy or a girl's name so I could say I love you.
That's my godson.
You owe Andrew Gabriel money.
That's my godson.
Pay him. I don't owe Andrew Gabriel a cent.
Read the other question.
Yes, all these little PNM trolls and fronts. His opposition material, he loves to oppose very controversial second place, Leander Craig Scott. Without asking an actual question, that's a silly thing to say, but that is what you'll get from people who want to defend the political status quo that has kept us trapped where we are. The other night, we had Vernon DeLima and Wayne Sturge on a show talking about people trapped in prison cells in this country because our justice system don't work, our water system don't work, our hospitals don't work, our education system loses 7,000 children a year to hopelessness and vagrancy. We do not grow our own food. We spend billions of dollars. Our farmers can't get land. Nothing works in Trinidad and Tobago, nothing. Government after government have called police service, the biggest gang in the country, did nothing to fix it. They parachute Gary Griffith into there and Trinidadians say, no, with the popcorn. All this crap they're telling Gary. You were supposed to fix it overnight. You were supposed to get 6,000 police officers on this overnight. You were supposed to set up the police academy and polygraph testing and drug testing and weed out all of the corrupt officers in 15 minutes. And if you didn't next, that's those people and those comments. They don't understand that they live in a cesspool of broken latrine. You, Mama Coco, if you were in Trinidad and Tobago tonight, you wouldn't feel safe, you wouldn't be able to bathe, and current might go and you can't watch your favorite TV show.
But I don't only watch TV show and news.
We live in a broken...
Okay, there's another question. What can people learn from the Phillip Edward Alexander brand?
I think it is too soon to ask that question. It's early days yet in my politics, but I think I have already...
You have a brand, you know.
I think I've already established myself as a game changer. We've drawn the conversation to us. All of these people who want to defend the status quo, we spend $100 million on a parliament every year for zero representation. Any one of those who are attacking me, tell them go to the MP office tomorrow and tell them they have a problem and see what happens. Charmaine Sideno called me this morning, the head of an advertising agency, for a lady who have 2 children living in a board house and just catch a fire. She working for the Chinese grocery and she don't know how to get help and she's suffering. She want to kill herself. I tell Charmaine, the first step is that woman has to go to social services. The second step, she has to go to her MP. And when the 2 of them let her down and they deny her, then come to me and we will solve the problem. The Jericho Project over the past 26 years have forced corporate Trinidad and Tobago to put disabled parking. I am the reason there are those blue parking spots in Trinidad and Tobago.
That's right. You have to talk about your brand.
No government to date No government to date has addressed
you say you feed the hungry.
We created My Daily Soup. My son grew up feeding the homeless every Christmas. That's his Christmas day. All of my friends, Paul now, he is PNM, our people in the UNC. We made dealing with the homeless fashionable. Calco and Sammy and them form a version of the Jericho Project called 141 Foundation, and for a little while was cutting poor people here. We've done this. We've got 3 subventions for the orphans, changed their lives. The Akil Chambers Justice for Children March had a march every year until we put 25,000 people in the street and frightened the crap out of Glenn Ramadan Singh, sent him back in the parliament the next day and took up the languishing children's bill that was languishing for 12 years and passed it as law. That's why we have a children's authority today. We've stopped the rapid fire breeding of dangerous dogs in this country. There was a time pit bulls was killing poor people. A mother security guard on Mother's Day was attacked by 7 pit bulls owned by a police officer, and she was murdered by those dogs. She never get any kind of compensation. All of those people who sitting down there eating their popcorn, typing that nonsense, none of them know these things, remember any of these things.
That is what I bring you on
do anything for anybody, Mama Coco, and I, Phillip Edward Alexander. That woman who just type about Owen Andrew Gabriel.
Well, this is the kind of life that you like, and this is not the life that you should be keeping still. 3 years ago, you came out doing all this. Yes. You're supposed to be doing a different life now. I asked you those questions before. I asked you.
If in charge, how much money would you invest in developing Tobago?
Those are my questions.
You want an answer to that?
Yes.
But let me just answer the thing about the way I am, Mama Coco, I will never change.
Well, you can't do that.
I'm not going to script myself. I'm not going to lie to people. I'm going to be so brutally stinking honest. People will either vote for you or not.
No, we're not used. No, don't do that.
Look at what I have to put up with.
No, you don't.
Fake profiles.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Andrew Gabriel money.
Answer this question. Answer this question. These are my questions. These are the questions I build my life.
Okay.
I build the life on. These are the questions.
Empowerment Party would abolish, if given the mandate, if given the majority, would abolish local government, the regional health authorities, the police precinct model, and the THA, and replace them with something called a constituency board of supervisors. Tobago has 56,000 people and 2 constituencies. Those 2 constituencies should be given the autonomy to manage their business. All 41 constituencies in Trinidad and Tobago should be managing their own water, their own electricity, their own national security, their own education, their own maintenance. Our local government system failed. There is nothing but corruption and rottenness there. Our regional health authorities cannot answer for the $5 billion that we spend every year on public health, and people go to those hospitals to suffer. If you made each constituency responsible and gave them their share of the budget every year to operate themselves, central government will take care of the important issues, and they will take care of, and they would have the autonomy to take care of public works, public utilities, security, education, and public health.
So how much money would you earmark for Tobago?
Tobago gets 2 types of money under the Progressive Empowerment Party. Tobago gets constituency money, like every constituency.
For development, for development.
Management first. Tobago gets its constituency management money, like every constituency in the country would get, for all of the things that needs to be done. And then Tobago gets minor central government money, and Trinidad gets major central government money because of size. But Tobago's development has to be based on what Tobagonians want. We have a vision for Tobago, but I don't know if Massa Day Done still resonates in Tobago.
What you just used?
Massa Day Done. When Eric Williams said that to end our service industry, to make it shameful for people and in Mexico, they reach 6-star and 7-star hotels, you know, people with medical degree working as concierge in hotels in Mexico, pulling down $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 in tips in the real world. But I don't know how damaged we are in Tobago, because Tobago is the best single tropical destination in the world. And every time I go to Tobago, I wonder why other countries like the Bahamas and even Mexico could have the type of tourist industry that they have, and they don't have a nylon pool, and they don't have the largest brain coral in the world. They certainly don't have the oldest old growth forest on the planet that Tobago has. That the laws that exist to govern Yellowstone Park was written because of Tobago's forest. But I don't know what Tobagonians want. And I don't think the conversation has ever been to Tobagonians. When they do something, they do it well, and they put their spirit into it. Tobagonians never come across to me as greedy people. They come across as hardworking, good and decent people. I tell people all the time, you'll meet Tobagonians that have two different side of slippers, but they own the land they're walking on. And that's how Trinidadians should think too. But we have a problem with the Ministry of Legal Affairs. Can't even set up a proper land registry in Tobago so people can get clear title to their land, so they could get financing, so they could build a guest house or their own home or their farm or whatever. Tobago had the highest, most valuable real estate on planet Earth for a while because of Coco. And they could again. Does Tobago want to be a mini Trinidad, or does Tobago want to be in agriculture and agro-processing and tourism?
You see how many.
Somebody said,
I
just named some.
Look how many, look, you now wake up. You're now opening up. The questions were there coming, but you wouldn't answer them. Now you're ready to, and you're getting, don't get riled up. People wouldn't listen.
Stephen Downer asked, why do you think the Scott Drug Report of 1987 has not been...
We can answer those questions right now.
Good.
We have to come and, sorry Scott Love, sorry Janelle. But at this time I want to be speaking with Mr.
I want Janelle James Alexander to take my number, please. She has a lot of questions. Janelle, please acknowledge that you took my number, 682-2110.
Did I know your number? We listen to you all the time.
I know, but I wanted to, because she has a lot of questions, and I wanted to be able to reach out to me directly. Mama Coco.
Take a deep breath and let us come with
no, this is me normal. I feel normal.
No, this nah. You see what you're doing normal. Tell me how you think about the election coming. What chance you have?
All or nothing.
No, I ask you that.
It's up to that. Loop that is owned by Digicel that gets public taxpayer funds will write an article about all parties presenting candidates and when they presented candidates, and call every 2x4 two-letter name one-man band, and wouldn't call Progressive Empowerment Party. Wouldn't mention it.
How do you think the PEP is prepared for this election?
We are very prepared.
What seat are you running for?
Diego Martin Northeast.
Is that the seat with your friend?
Colm Imbert.
Okay.
I'm going up against Colm Imbert. I want to tell you, it is a toss-up, and nobody's heard this publicly before, so you just got breaking news. It is either Diego Martin Northeast or San Fernando West. Garvin Nicholas may or may not work with us, and if he works with us, I will be giving him the opportunity to contest Diego Martin Northeast because he has machinery there. If he doesn't, I'm going to break Colm Imbert's hold on that seat. If Garvin takes Diego Martin Northeast, I am going San Fernando West, because somebody has to remove Faris from the politics and fling him on the dustbin of our politics. This is not about biceps and leotards. This is about representation of the people. Mbakade still have no representation, and those people desperate for it.
Mbaka, where were you talking?
Mbakade, down in San Fernando, down train line.
Okay.
San Fernando West.
So now we almost at 2 hours, and 2 of the engineers have to go out. See, somebody put a question there. Realize the Mayor Fat Mama Coco interviewing Mr.
Ian D'Souza is a diehard supporter. And I want to tell Ian, Mama Coco, Cora Pantin, is a beautiful soul. And from the first day I saw her present on one of my lives about 3 years ago, I felt honored. I felt blessed. I never knew I'd be getting this interview. I always thought when you call me Mama Coco, I want you to
told you I'm going to give you the
admit this.
question.
Admit this. When you called me, when you said to me, why you never reach out to me politically, I said, because I know Watson Duke is your nephew. And that
No, he's not.
Didn't I tell you that I assumed that you were going to support him?
No, I ain't supporting anybody.
But I'm saying to you that is why. But I love, and you could ask the members of the party that I keep boasting that I have people like Atto Bolan and Cora Pantin and Bernard Dilima. Y'all are touchstones. As long as I continue to see y'all there with me, messaging me and saying, veer left, veer right, watch this, look out, that keeps me going. I have school teachers from all during my life.
I know, I tell you, you have such an audience all over the world.
Mama, when you see your friends, I have Victoria Brown. I know Victoria Brown since I'm a teenager playing all fours. I know him as Mitts. And me and Mitts used to go and play all fours, drink beers and play all fours with people. He is a supporter. When you have people who know you your whole life and know how steep a mountain that is to climb and willing to stand with you and support you.
Yes.
I have a friend named Edmund Moy. Edmund Moy is a good and decent soul. I have known him for decades. Every single time the Jericho Project or the Progressive Empowerment Party doing something for the homeless or the poor or anything, Edmund Moy will show up with 2 cases of chicken and donate.
Yes, I remember this Follow Your Life, you know, I just hear all who donate. Some nights you're telling how much they donate, but what I am saying here right now is like, let me ask you this question. How you did in the last local election then?
We didn't contest the last local election. We've decided to stand by our policy that we want to abolish local government. Plus, we didn't want to
abolish
and replace it with a constituency board of supervisors that is responsive. Right now, people don't understand who is their councillor and how this thing works. And some is elected and some is appointed, and you have to talk to this one. We wrote every single regional corporation in this country to ask them if Kiss Baking Company had a
I see that campaign that you're doing with Kiss and the bread. They just sell bread on the highway.
Right, but each and every regional corporation admitted that Kiss Baking Company was breaking the law, and each and every regional corporation admitted that they could do nothing about it. Now, why would I have, as my system of government, an opposition that can't take on the government? Why would I have a local government system that cannot address issues like people breaking the law on the side of the road? But if a poor man go and stand up next to Bermuda's bread seller to sell his bread, is lock up and jail for them.
I didn't know that was going on until I hear your life.
Nobody popcorn eaters, they don't know either. They don't have to know, or they may know and don't care. A lot of them might be fake profiles of 1% people trying to defend.
This is the guy I invite to come on my show, because the things that you talk about on your life, no one else speak about it. And you know, there's certain language. I'm telling you the truth, you know, because I ain't here to bring you down and bring you on my show. I'm here to lift you up because I bring you on my show. I'm here to tell people that the person that they just comment and write about, that's not the guy. I want them to know that this guy makes his own money. I want them to know that this guy is a human. Accept my sympathy for the loss of your sister. That day when you were speaking about she just went in for this, and then when you get the news, she's dead. You know, that broke me down. And there's a human side to you. But you can't go on these talk shows when you know the people just bringing you there to antagonize you.
Yeah, but you see,
and I want you to go back and watch this show. When this show is done, watch this show.
I do.
And see if you could. Yes, see if you could. No, don't already comment. Yes, see the comments. But I mean, Watch the interview.
Mama,
and see where the slippery is, and see where you're not answering the question.
Somebody said tonight, put on your whole armor. That person don't know how close to the thing they touch. I am practicing real politics in a country that killed Selwyn Richardson, Jean Miles, and Dana Sitahal. Philip Edward Alexander pulls into the public space in ways nobody ever could.
So Gary, you know who did that?
Just now. That's not my job. My job is my job. And I pull them into the public space. I have them quaking because they lighted plenty candle in church, temple, and mosque, hoping Philip Edward Alexander never see government. Because I am telling you that the $3 trillion that was stolen is criminals that still living in this country, living large, splashing people in the Porsche Cayenne. I know for an absolute fact.
Philip, I wish we didn't have to stop this live. But you waste 90 minutes.
Not at all. We have plenty time to talk.
I know we have time to talk, but as I tell you before, we were pressing for time with a certain amount of questions because what I bring you on the show for, you deviated. You did not stick to the point.
I apologize.
You know,
but I tell
you're a good guy.
Mama, I'm not afraid.
Listen. Look at the quality politics that you bring into the people every night. Look the kind of news they just go out on highways, byways, canals that ain't doing good, people water wasting. Look who is your friend, Mr. Aboud, Gary. These are people that you know. You are the guy I wanted was to bring on Facebook tonight. But that guy stay away until now. Till all my questions to you are those in the green. Those are my questions for you. Look at how many questions I have for you. Look how many questions.
I wish your engineers didn't have to go.
I wish that too. You can't be so encouraged to go and face people and get too hyper. Else you have to get up and leave them because they're bringing out a part of you that is not making you look.
But Mama,
listen, it's not making you look.
You see, I want to say,
tell me.
I want Trinidadians to know me as I am.
Yes, but
tell me. You know, people just meet me and tell me, Philip, I'm praying for you every night. I say, thank you. Patrick Jagasa, ex-magic.
I tell you the other day, I'm praying for you because of what I see going on around you.
Mama,
you out there messing with your life, you know.
Mama,
you mingling with death every day. And you can't be out there fighting. Listen to me. Every time you come to talk about the Prime Minister, you have to get so high up and always have to call him name and till you're going now often, calling him jackass. You're cussing out, come like this. You have already won. You talk about that for 3 years. Why are you continuing so? You don't have to do that. You can cease and desist.
Trinidadians need to know the truth.
That is not the truth.
That is the truth.
Because you see, the first thing we have to do as a people, we have to be true to ourselves. Mama, and anytime you have to be proven to people.
This is me.
All the time.
No. This is not me proven. This is me.
No. Sometimes you're working too hard. You already win the point. Start to talk of how you will fix it. Stop talking about the damages. Stop talking about, listen, stop talking about, you keep it alive, but you're on the live talking for a whole life. This, that, rash dash. What I am saying, if Kamala Bissessa is guilty of everything that we say that she's guilty of, we need to try people. If PNM guilty, PNM, they have to face trial.
Who will bring them to justice, Mama?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That is the politics we need. We can't be spinning top in mud.
I dealing with people who think that their vote is
No, Philip.
on the texture of their hair. I
Philip,
need shake, Mama.
You're keeping a lot of meetings every night with too much redundance. You can't be doing it every time. You have to move forward for progress.
I love
you start to go to Lavantil.
I love.
You have to start to
can't go nowhere. He'd only make it illegal except for PNM. PNM could go 50,000 people could go on a stage down in South last night by UV campus, and it's legal. If I call a meeting, it's illegal. I live in a country that is a dictatorship. I have a, you see, you tell me I can't call them names, but it is my calling them names that pull them low. People understand now. Those are people holding office. Respect the office. But if you put a donkey in a horse race, don't expect first class racing. Mama, I do.
Do you think that the majority of people that will vote for you,
that is dead?
We need a part two.
You have.
What do you say about a part two?
I hear for you. I wanted to tell you just now, the things that you say, I believe, I live it. I live this. This is sacrifice. I don't need this. This don't pay me. This costs me money. They have no win. The other night, who it was that was on the plane talk? Patrick Watson.
Who you have in your team? I know I could have asked for Mr. Anthony. Who again could come?
If you bring Anthony on this show tomorrow, he could answer the first 3 questions, and after that, you'll realize why he was my wingman, but he couldn't fly the plane. He's a good guy, sweet and gentle soul.
But what you have to do, you have to teach him how to fly the plane in case.
Mama, that is what I was doing.
You can't fly it.
I was doing, and then he ended up. But you know, man.
Don't argue.
In a scratchy and
Tell
itchy.
me who again.
I want to.
Do you have a woman?
Shaman, this party is the most powerful woman in politics in this country.
So well, she might want to come because she might think I'm too harsh on you.
No. This party people. The night we launched the Progressive Empowerment Party, Felicia Ola came as a guest, as a member.
I want you to tell me the truth. Was I hard on you?
You?
You tell me to be hard, and I wasn't even hard. Because all my questions and them still ain't answered.
Do I look, Mama Coco? I enjoyed every second. I tell you, I wish your engineers didn't have to go. Some people will love the show, some people will hate the show. That's Trinidadians. They come to a conversation with their minds already made up. Mama,
they can't handle us.
Let me finish this sentence. They come to a political conversation. Lucky he's a 1%. Lucky he white. Lucky he too black. I was in St. Mary's College. I was too white to be Indian, too black to be brown, too straight to be Tata hair. I fit in nowhere. I have had a Forrest Gump life. I have had to understand everything. That's God had me on this journey for my whole life. I have known loss. I have known gain.
We're going to wrap up, I'm so sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching Live with Mama Coco and with our distinguished friend, Mr. Phillip Edward Alexander. I invited him to come sit with me so I can show Trinidad and Tobago, especially Tobago, who Mr. Phillip Edward Alexander is. I know we have started out slow and a little late, and as he said that I was walking on his brain. I didn't know you would have chicken out on me. I didn't know that. I seen you strong and moving on your lives, but I didn't know that when you come to sit with Mama Coco, you would have been so.
I want to give you a message. Vernon de Lima sent to say he loves you.
Vernon de Lima, yes, thank you, but I love him too.
He say he loves you and he loved the show.
Can anyone like him come on and sit with me so they could sell pep? You need somebody to sell pep. You can't sell pep.
No, not at all. Mama, you keep saying that Trinidadians have been lied to for 58 years. I am giving them me, and I.
Now you just get Nah, you're
Mama Coco, I'm
exposed.
telling you this.
You're
I'm
exposing
telling
your
them.
skin too.
And all the
You're
popcorn
exposing your
eaters.
skin. Maybe you could come with somebody else too, you know.
Mama, I have posted hours of video. All the popcorn eaters could continue eating popcorn.
Can we stop use popcorn eaters?
Mama, after I lose, the people who sit down to eat popcorn to watch it, nice popcorn eaters. After I lose, if I lose, my life good, you know. The things I fight for.
Don't you see?
Mama Coco, I have to say this.
No,
the struggle I'm fighting
people.
Don't affect me. It don't affect me. I have built a life. I am
call every popcorn eater a voter. Because they are the people that you want.
They have to be
responsible. You have already. So we're trying to convince. We're trying to convince other people.
I'm not lying to them. They have to be responsible.
It's not lying.
Dog eat their supper after the next election. Trinidad going nowhere, and you and I know that. What going on in America tonight is
I wonder where is the guy that wanted to be a priest? How pious can you become to come back on my life? You have to answer your questions.
You need me pious?
Yes.
Okay. I'll prepare. When is the next time?
Well, I'll have to get back. We will have to do a post-mortem, you know, because I know I'm calling you. Because some of your actions tonight is not what I expected. You told me don't go easy on you.
Don't.
You told me don't sanitize you.
Don't.
You told me ask you anything.
Anything.
I asked you if anything
I didn't know you was going to ask me baby questions. That's a different thing. I talking hard, hitting politics. You asking me about school and growing up and things. You know how long I put my mind to that?
No, you have to.
Mama,
we are trying to walk the juvenile minds. We're trying to work with young people. Some people in Trinidad, they never listen to you.
Old people and the young people love me. And I telling you, I willing to walk. Forget what the advisor's telling you. I willing to walk Beatam Lavantel, Morva, Sealots tomorrow. They know my name. They know me. And I willing to walk there tomorrow. They know that they have nothing left to lose. How much more Fitzgerald Hines fail in Lavantel? He said, get them Lavantel West. Who you
They have much to lose and they have their life to lose. Don't talk like Trump. Drop the language.
I'm saying is politics can't get worse for them. Can't get worse. Their own representative send somebody.
I want to lift you up before God this evening on my life, because my life based with some spiritualism in it. And I don't care what people have to say. I have to come back to basic. And I have to realize that with God, all things are possible. And we cannot fight a battle with anybody except we know what weapons they have. And the weapons that people have is the power they have to either vote for you or don't accept you. And we are here trying for people to accept you. But some of the things that you are saying, we don't need it. Some people can find me saying that and I shouldn't say it because they're not honest. They're encouraging you in certain things that you in your heart know, you know I should stop that. You know I should slow down here. You can't tell people you don't need a job, but you want the job. And if you ain't get it, you're done. Listen to me.
So, Mama, you are telling Philip Edward Alexander to lie.
No.
And I cannot.
I did not. You see how you
disagree with my position, but this is my truth.
I am a woman of truth. I can't tell you to lie.
But this is my truth.
No, your truth need... As
I am saying to you, to all who support me and to all who hate me.
So all who support you can make you win the election?
Not at all. I'm saying if this is God,
you need more people.
Mama, you're not letting me say it. If this is God plan for me, nothing can stop it. And if this is not God plan for me, nothing I could do could change it. I want to wake up every morning and put one foot in front of the other and fight the best fight I could fight. And if Trinidad and Tobago want real representation, proper leadership that fixes this country, they'll vote for the Progressive Empowerment Party. If not, we'll continue with cancer and heart attack until all of we dead.
Boy, I really thought I would have been listening to somebody with a vast amount of difference from Keith Rowley. Somehow you're singing just like he sometimes, you know. So right now you and his partner. You can't sing like this. You're speaking with a whole million tons of entitlement. That is not what the politics you should be teaching for young people to come to you. I want young people to gravitate to you. I want the votes that you believe. I want the votes that you believe they should get. You should get it.
That's up to them. 30 years of lies have America on fire. 58 years of lies going to burn Trinidad down at some point.
Yeah, where you going again? You can't say that.
But Mama, look at our country. All right. So I want to tell you that if you need me to sound like somebody else,
no, I don't need you to sound like anybody else. I want you to behave. I want you to behave like yourself. This extra that you had to put on, you don't need it again. Actually, Philip, you won over the people with the quality politics that you bring. People want a change, and you had it in you. Decorum. So may the God of all peace that surrounds us here tonight, and the peace that you came with, may you leave with the same peace.
Amen.
May we remain as people who need change and working for change. We can't behave the same and get change. And what I'm seeing here with you, you're a good guy. That's why I asked you to come. I didn't ask you to come to prove a point. I didn't ask you to come to score points. And right now, when I finish with you here, I'm going to be going to take my pressure pill right now. Because you don't know how much it took for me. That's why I called you today and tell you, may I give you some of the questions? Because you see them baby and them monotonous politics, we're not here on that. Kamala this, Kamala that. Who for Kamala staying with Kamala? But you want the undecided. You want the young people that doesn't vote. You want to impress the young people. You want to show them that you are a child too. You are a child that grew up poor. And you can hear them in Laventille. You can feel them in Bonds Road. You could feel them in Chumacak. You could feel them on the Eastern Corridor. You could feel them in Maloney. You could feel them in Arapooch. Don't think it's just the East alone suffering. It's all over Trinidad. So may the God of all peace continue to reign amongst us. And may we understand that the more we live, the more we shall with the opposition in Tobago. It's not easy to break through Tobago. And Tobagonians don't trust outsiders to come to run. But if an outsider come in to do good, as you said, you have plans for Tobago. Because we're tired. The first representative we have from the East, that born and grow in the East, to represent Trinidad, to represent Tobago and the East in Trinidad, is Ayanna Webster Roy. For all these years before, was A.N.R. Robinson, Basil Pitt, yes, Wilbert Winchester. We never had our own representative. So for you to come in and you want to be in this part of an election, you have to make the breakthrough. You had was to be there before on the ground. And you can't make coronavirus keep you out from presenting yourself. I respect you, my friend. Love is a strong word and I'm about to use it. I love you, Mr. Philip Edward Alexander. But I love you to be yourself. And you just cannot be out there using grammar, using drama to please one section of people. You need to please everybody. So those who may not want it to join you because of this life today, they should have been able to gravitate 100%. But you show some weakness. I can't blame you. Because I don't think, not even my children, could really sit down and listen to me when I'm ready to speak or to interrogate. You see, I don't have anyone to please. I don't have a church. I don't have a party. What I have is honesty and truth. And when I see a good thing, I help a good thing. And I wish you great luck. Maximum respect to you. And may we go in peace and remain peaceful. And let us get ready to meet again for the good of Trinidad and Tobago and for our young people. A charge to keep you have, and a God to glorify, and ever dying soul to save. Dying soul to save. You can't be said, if me not win, me not this, me not that. No. Sometimes you lose, but you win. Because what people learn from you, they learn from your brand. They learn from your tenacity. They learn from your will. They learn from your energy. They learn from the vibrations that some people don't believe in God, they believe in vibrations. And you have to give it out. I hope you are listening to me. I see you smiling.
Raptured by your words.
So how you feel about the live? Are you 100% proud?
I think it was a good show.
We're not doing show.
Well, you know what I mean? It's a good exchange.
Yes.
It started off difficult with all of the challenges with the technical difficulties and trying between your team and my team and trying to get it, and getting that done threw me off a little bit. And then you have a different style. And because we weren't briefed before, I didn't.
Accept the briefing.
Because I'm always exposed to combat, I expected combat, and you have such a soft and gentle way that it took a while to gear me down from combat mode.
I told you before, the way you were interviewed for the past 3 years, I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated when you had to be saying, let me finish, let me finish, let me finish.
But it's part of the course, because they're going to block you. They're going to do everything in their power. They're going to assassinate your character. They're going to defame you. They're going to threaten you.
That's the price you have to pay for being a public figure. You know what a guy told me some years ago, but he passed? He's godfather of my daughter. One day he watched me say, Cora, you're a real strong person, you know, but sometimes you have to cease from being a public figure. Because the people that cheer you on, ask them why they like you. You're funny and you're crazy. They don't have anything good to say because they don't know goodness themselves. We in Trinidad and Tobago, we so used to bacchanal and partisan and carry God bring come politics that you come in with such power, such great materials that you harvest. You come with numbers and figures. Why lose? Why lose that for using words that, you know, can't build?
It prompts me.
A lot of people want to vote for you. You know, I could feel it.
Mama,
a lot of people fed up.
It prompts me to ask you a question, and I don't want the fed up vote. You see, you may not understand the honesty in that statement. Whoever Trinidadians vote into office next, Patrick Watson is one of the most senior economists this country ever produced. And he said, Phillip, live on the show this week, he said, this is not an election to win, you know. The next 10 years of Trinidad and Tobago is not going to be fun. It's not going to be easy.
Look, we are able to talk about the monies that we have and monies that we ain't get. We ain't get to talk nothing decent about it. We didn't get to do that because you keep forcing me to go over onto
But
areas that we didn't plan for.
Mama, Trinidadians have to grow up now.
Janelle James is saying, I love the man. He has really good ideas, but tonight, 0 points.
So let me answer Janelle, right? And I'll show you what I mean by Trinidadians have to grow up. I don't want points. If Janelle thinks I have very good ideas and she could trust me enough to say she loves me, then she needs to hire me. That is the difference. We've played with our politics for so long and we've been abused for playing it. And all I'm saying to Janelle and everybody else is treat this next election.
No, you see, what you going after here is what I could come in and tell you straight up. You cannot make people vote for you if you are not displaying the qualities that they want their prime minister to display. They want to make sure
you will
that if somebody, like a woman, come from Venezuela with 2 other men, they don't want the prime minister to be telling them.
You
he
think
doesn't know
people on the ground?
why. We didn't even get into that, but we have to end the show. We have to, sorry.
See you for part 2.
We must have a part 2.
See you for part 2.
I will not feel good. I will feel as if
I'll be here.
We didn't have a part 1.
We can have part 2 and 3 and 4. I'll be here. You let Satish and me know when. We will prepare. Love
Janelle
them.
will be back. Janelle
Mama,
is behind the show. Everybody, we want to. So I want you to sell you. So peace, my brother.
Peace.
May God be with you.
Amen.
And when we are off the live and you're free enough, you have to call me.
Yes, ma'am.
Tonight.
Yes, ma'am.